Welcome back to Ride Next, where two wheels meet timeless passion, cutting-edge precision, and heart-pounding performance. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a motorcycle that revives the golden spirit of classic café copyright racers while integrating modern engineering under the skin. This is the 2026 Honda GB500, a refined reboot of a legend that once roamed the streets in the late 80s and early 90s. Now back with a vengeance and ready to conquer a new generation of riders who crave authenticity with a modern twist. So what exactly makes the 2026 GB 500 so special? Let's begin with what you see first out of design. At a glance, the bike is a rolling tribute to its heritage. The proportions scream classic British café copyright racer. Yet there's unmistakable Japanese discipline in its lines and detailing. A slim, elongated fuel tank with tasteful knee indents, low-slung handlebars, a single-seat cowl that tapers gracefully, and wire-spoke wheels with polished aluminum rims all contribute to its undeniably vintage aesthetic. The deep, glossy paintwork available in shades like British Racing Green, Burnished Bronze, and Classic Ebony is topped with hand-painted pinstripes that offer a bespoke touch rarely seen in mass-market machines today. But don't be fooled by its retro appearance. The 2026 GB 500 is far from outdated. Honda has infused this bike with contemporary performance tech where it counts. At the heart of this machine lies a 499cc single-cylinder, air and oil-cooled engine. It's a modernized evolution of the old thumper, now fitted with ride-by-wire throttle, a revised combustion chamber, and a lightweight forged piston. The engine delivers 38 horsepower and 43 Nm of torque, all tuned to provide a thick mid-range and a visceral riding experience just like the café copyright racers of yore, but with smoother, more refined delivery. The exhaust note is deliberately tuned to replicate the thump and burble of the original GB500. As soon as you fire it up, there's a nostalgic growl from the upswept megaphone-style exhaust, but this time it meets modern noise and emission standards. There's a mechanical charm to the rhythm of the engine, one that immediately connects you to the road and to history. Performance-wise, the GB500 isn't designed to shatter lap records. What it excels at is making every ride feel soulful. With a curb weight of just 172 kilograms, it's nimble and extremely flexible, whether you're carving through tight urban traffic or leaning into sweeping country bends. The 5-speed gearbox offers smooth shifts with a tactile old-school feel. Honda has intentionally kept it analog here, with a classic clutch setup instead of a quick shifter, to preserve the purest riding experience. Suspension is handled by a 41mm telescopic fork at the front and dual shock absorbers at the rear, both tuned more for comfort and composure rather than track aggression. That said, the bike holds a confident line through corners and offers excellent feedback through the handlebars. The ride is composed on uneven roads and surprisingly plush, proving that style and comfort can indeed coexist in the same package. Braking is handled by a single 320mm disc up front with a dual piston caliper and a 240mm rear disc, both equipped with ABS. The stopping power is progressive and predictable, more than enough for the kind of spirited, everyday riding this bike encourages. Now let's talk about the rider interface, and this is where Honda shows its mastery of blending old and new. The dash is a dual-pod analog layout, complete with a large speedometer and tachometer, finished in brushed aluminum bezels. But look closer, and you'll notice a small, subtly integrated LCD between the pods. This screen provides essential info like gear position, fuel range, ambient temperature, and trip meters, discreet and functional without ruining the classic vibe. The handlebar switches have been re-engineered to look like vintage units but operate with crisp, modern precision. Even the round LED headlight and turn signals have a warm tone that emulates halogen glow, keeping the retro aesthetic intact while ensuring visibility and safety at night. The ergonomics are upright yet engaged. Your feet are slightly rear set, your arms reach forward just a bit, and the narrow tank means your knees tuck in naturally. It's comfortable for city commuting, weekend cruises, or just soaking in the joy of open roads with no destination in mind. The solo seat is cushioned and sculpted, and while there's no passenger seat in the standard trim, Honda does offer a two-up option with the bolt-on rear seat and pegs if you plan on sharing the experience. When it comes to tech, the GB500 keeps it minimal by design. No riding modes, no traction control, no overbearing electronics, just ABS and fuel injection. This purist approach is intentional, keeping the rider fully in command. It's all about raw, uninterrupted connection, a machine and rider, road and rhythm. That's a rare quality in today's tech-heavy market, and one that many enthusiasts are craving more than ever. One of the more surprising elements is Honda's attention to craftsmanship. Unlike many bikes in its class, the GB500 is assembled with a mix of hand-finished components. The brushed aluminum side covers, the polished fenders, and even the seat stitching are done with the level of detail you typically associate with far more expensive machines. Every element has been considered, even the Honda wing emblem on the tank is a vintage-style metal badge, not the sticker or print. Under the skin, Honda has ensured reliability and low maintenance. Valve checks are required only every 24,000 kilometers, and the oil change interval is generous. The single-cylinder design is inherently simpler, more robust, and less costly to maintain than multi-cylinder setups, yet it still offers enough character and torque to make every ride memorable. And perhaps the biggest talking point at a price. The 2026 Honda GB500 comes in at approximately $7,899, placing it comfortably within reach for a wide range of riders, from seasoned veterans looking to downsize into something more soulful, to new riders seeking a stylish, high-quality first bike with lasting appeal. Given the level of finish, performance, and exclusivity it offers, the GB500 represents outstanding value. Honda is also offering a range of official accessories for the GB500, from leather saddlebags and tank pads to bar and mirrors, windshields, and even a retro-styled helmet to match. The customization possibilities are plentiful, allowing each rider to make the bike uniquely theirs without compromising its core identity. Another unique selling point is how this bike bridges generations. For riders who grew up seeing the original GB500 on posters or in garages, the 2026 model is a deeply emotional throwback. But for younger riders who've only known ultra-modern machines, it offers an entry point into the charm of retro motorcycling, but without the quirks or compromises of restoring an old bike. You get all the style and soul, with none of the oil leaks and cold start rituals. In a market increasingly dominated by either high-displacement supernakeds or ultra-sleek electric bikes, the GB500 dares to go back, not to regress, but to remind us why we fell in love with motorcycles in the first place. It's a bike that whispers instead of screams, one that doesn't demand attention but turns it, quietly and confidently. And that might just be its greatest strength. So who is the 2026 Honda GB500 for? It's for the rider who values style, authenticity, and simplicity over digital distractions. It's for someone who finds joy in the ride itself, rather than chasing lap times. It's for the urban commuter who wants to stand out without showing off, or the weekend wanderer who wants a companion that feels alive beneath them. It's a machine with soul, and in today's world, that's a rare and beautiful thing. If you're considering a motorcycle that brings vintage charm into the modern world without cutting corners on quality, the 2026 GB 500 should be at the very top of your list. It's not the fastest, not the most high-tech, but it may very well be the most emotionally satisfying ride you'll find in this segment. And that's it for today's deep dive. If you enjoyed this review and want to see more stories where nostalgia meets innovation, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Ride Next, and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of motorcycling magic. Until next time, ride safe, ride free, and remember, sometimes, going back is the best way forward.